Hello and welcome back to my Endor Imperial base along with Finn once again. I thought I'd provide a quick update on the progress I'm making with the toy box. As I indicated in my original tour of the full base, that due to memory limitations I was likely going to have to split this into two toy boxes, which I've done here. So eventually this button will connect to a toy box door that will send us over to the other side of the base. Right now we're in the main part of the base, and it was over in this direction that the Ewok side of the base with the backdoor entrance and the shield control room existed. So I removed all that to free up memory so I could concentrate more on this side of the base here, working on the main base. So I thought I'd show everyone the progress I've made on this. So coming up into the main base here again. Glass door entrance into the main section of the base here. Comes to the walkway going across the AT-AT loading and service bay. Just taking a look around for everybody once again. And the lifting platform to bring the AT-AT up to the surface level of the base. And of course here we have the service lift that goes down to the mid-level for loading the AT-AT as well as the floor level. And we come up this stairwell here into the main operations section of the base. So that goes around that direction. Bunker entrance here, along with the matching bunker entrance on the opposite side, up into the ground level of the base. And something I meant to do in my original tour but forgot to do it was provide a view down into the service bay and the lifting platform. Kind of a cool view from up top here as you look down over the edge. And the walkway overlook there into the open bay area. So I'm not going to go over the full tour of the base again since I already provided that, but show you what I've been working on. So there was a wall here and I removed that wall. That goes down into the area towards the AT-AT service bay. So I made this stairwell going down underground here. It was part of the original vision I had, and when the toy box before splitting apart I didn't have the memory to do this, so I have a little transportation mover here for moving troops and personnel back and forth between the two sides of the base. There's some kiln decoration over there. And I use the rail slide set to the electric theme, which gives it that pulsing electricity going through it. It's kind of a cool way to indicate that this is electrically operated along that rail system. And we'll go through this tunnel here to the other, takes us to the other side of the far side of the base. So splitting the toy box into two toy boxes gave me the freed up the memory for me to add this part, which I wasn't able to do on the complete toy box. And I'm pretty much considering this half of the base complete. Now I have to work on the other half. So how I got those lights in there, this is actually something I learned from Mr. Disfinity. In one of his comments he mentioned that using these Nomasian walkways, I know I'm not saying that correctly, but under building sets group 5, something I never really looked at or realized, but these Nomasian, I think that's what they're called, yeah, Nomasian walkways. So they're a walkway on top, but underneath they have ceiling lights. So based on his comment, I said, this might be an interesting toy to use as a lighting system through this tunnel for the personnel mover. So you see these various pieces I'm showing have the lights underneath them, just similar to under platforming toys. This Droid Factory floating platform also has. You can use it for ceiling lights that we used in the shield control room. And that was something I learned from Professor Toybox. And using the trick with the what am I trying to say? And here hacking the terminal. It'll also start a 2-second timer delay, which will send the transporter on its way. So I have these ability terminals at both ends of the corridor just to be able to call the transporter if it's on the opposite end of the corridor. I'll probably put a trigger area down there with a kill section, just like if a player or enemy gets knocked in there, you get the electricity, you wouldn't survive that. Coming up into this portion, we have these little maintenance sections. So we have our outdoor underground tanks here, and I added these pieces here that kind of suggest that it goes through the cliff side there underground. So I thought there needed to be some logical connection to this side of the corridor, that it serves some sort of purpose. So I came up with this idea of these little service maintenance areas for the storage tanks, underground storage tanks there on the back side of the base, and a little officer's workstation here. Similar technique that we used for the shield control room. This is just a false door, just to kind of indicate that the base is bigger than what meets the eye here, and another maintenance section for the other storage tank. Again, another just false door here, suggesting that the corridors go off in that direction as well. And this is the bunker entrance for the back side of our box canyon base here. Showing again some of the decorations back here. And of course that is the hangar doors for the ATST and speeder bike hangar. And I set up some test logic here with two enemy generators. You can see where my memory meter is at now, so I have just about enough memory left now to add in logic. So each of these enemy generators spawn 10 enemies each, and you can see that just moves up the memory meter a little bit, still suggesting that I have a lot of memory left. So I set up that test logic so I can spawn those 20 enemies. They spawn smoothly and immediately all at the same time, and without causing an overload of the memory. So pretty much figure I'm done with my build exercise, but I don't want to do any logic or gameplay until I figure out what I'm going to do with the other half of the toy box. So I built this section here through the cliffs. I was thinking this might be a good spawn-in point versus spawning in at the doorway where I started this little tour. Like I said, a lot of that will depend upon what I do with the other half of the toy box and how that fits in. With ties into this main base part of the toy box. Once again, just taking a pan around here of the toy box. And here's another thing that I'm considering. So I have the shield generator here. But if the other toy box, if it's going to kind of follow the movie, that gets destroyed. So I'm questioning whether or not I even need to have this. So should this even exist in this toy box? Is it in a good location for this toy box if I do keep it? Or should it be moved a further distance away? So these are all things that I'm kind of wrestling with, what to do with the gameplay and the logic and the sequence of the game as to this half of the toy box and the other half of the toy box, which is designed to more closely follow the events of the movie, because we see very little, just a few minor shots of the main base, and mostly when Luke turns himself over to Vader to go confront the Emperor. And that was mostly in the corridor where the Imperial officers turn him over to Vader and they have their brief father-son conversation. So coming back down here, recall hack the terminal to recall the transporter. And it'll come back to us here from the other side. So I thought I'd just kind of give a quick run through of how this logic works. It's using the same exact reverse one-way and stop and reverse logic that that all my door logic uses. So this one, that one block there is the master block connected to all the other blocks and components of the of this transporter, including the locator for the sound effect, and of course the target. Target has to be connected to the path as well. And then it's a matter of just adjusting the properties to get the shape you want for it. And of course, all these blocks are set to a reverse one-way and stop, which defaults it to the other end of the corridor here, of the tunnel. And then it connects to each block, that when the master block is reversed, it will reverse all the other blocks and components, including that target and the locator. So this has its path creator, the time delayer. It sends a signal to a 2-second time delayer, just so there's a little bit of pause, so that when you hack the terminal or hit the target, it doesn't move immediately. So I have a 2-second time delay set to that. And when the terminal is hacked, after that 2-second delay, it sends a signal back to reactivate the ability terminal. And I have both those ability terminals in the properties set to any character can hack them, but that can be set to your liking. What I was trying to say before is to get these ceiling lights blended in with the blocks for the ceiling. I use the trigger area trick to do that. So I place the Nomanison ceiling or walkways, and then put trigger areas, and then I place the terrain pieces. That I was just showing here that master block also connects to a repeater that is used to repeat the sound effect. So in order for that sound effect to continue while the transporter is moving, you have to use a repeater. And I used, under the general category, I used that humming machinery sound. And about a 2-second rate works best for that particular sound. And then from the path creator as well as the path point, when the transporter reaches the both endpoints, it will turn off the repeater. Otherwise that humming machinery sound will just keep on going. And that's the time delay or connection set to 2 seconds. So each of those ability terminals, the target that I showed there, they all start that 2 second delay. And that 2 second delay is what commands the transporter to reverse its direction and move along the path. Again, when the target is hit, it starts that 2 second delay and then reverses, sends the reverse command to the master block, which then commands all the other blocks and components of the transporter to reverse direction and move along the path. Just trying to get myself back inside the room here. It's hard when you spawn on the roof all the time. So that's a brief tour and update on my progress with this Imperial base. Like I said, I'm pretty much considering the build exercise now to be done. This was one of the things that I really wanted to try and add to the full toy box but couldn't do. Splitting them into 2 toy boxes freed up that memory. But now I got to start working on the other toy box for the backdoor entrance and complete the build exercise for that, and then I'll be able to figure out how the logic in the gameplay is going to work. So once again, feel free to leave a comment, and thanks for watching.